You are probably looking forward to pitch your game or game idea to a publisher. Before you go ahead, I want to share some key lessons I learned in a talk I recently watched named 30 Things I Hate About Your Game Pitch by Brian Upton. A little bit about Brian in his own words.
I've been in the industry for 20 years. I started off as the creative director for Red Storm Entertainment. I designed Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon, but for the last 14 years, I was a senior game designer at Sony Santa Monica. I only recently left to go independent. And for a lot of that time, I was one of the guys you pitched to, probably, and I heard several hundred pitches during that time, so that there was a lot of stuff that I saw. And it gives you a unique perspective on it, because if you're the person doing the pitching, you may only do a handful of pitches in your career, but if you're the person receiving the pitching, then you see a lot, and you get to see patterns in how people pitch.
In this video, I've summarized and combined to make them as top 10 mistakes out of 30 in the original talk. Mistake number 1. Selling the backstory instead of the hook. People tell about their or player's backstory. Backstories are good at setting the tone for your game, but ultimately what matters the most for the player before they even buy the game for is what does the player do in the game to derive fun? What are the fun or challenging activities a player will be able to do once they boot up the game? The game sells because of the hook, the unique experience it offers to the player. That's something you should present. Mistake number 2. Telling pillars as hooks. Pillars are the core mechanics of the game. Although they are what define and core part of the game, hooks are something that grab interest of the player. Mechanics are found in almost every game of that genre. The hook should be something that sets your game apart, something that is unique to your game. Find that unique aspect and capitalize on it. Mistake number 3. Asking the publisher about design decisions. Publishers usually have their standards and benchmark, but it is not their job to decide whether the game should be in first person or third person, or in what art style the game should be in. As a game owner, those design decisions should be yours and you should be in the control. However, you should be open to feedback and see if feedback can help your game. Mistake number 4. The game is based off latest buzz. You see if the game is knockoff, rip-off, or coming from a latest tech craze. Unless it does not have anything new or unique to offer, chances are such game will be lost in the crowd. In advent of new tech craze, there will be a lot of similar games made, and making same type of game may not guarantee you success. Sometimes there is also a question whether adding the new tech is even necessary for the game. Thinking that through can help you avoid lot of cost and time in advance. Mistake number 5. Prototype mistakes. The prototype presented to the publisher should prove the concept of the game. It should have the difficult mechanics working, not just the character moving. If the game is story based, the prototype should showcase dialogues that shape the story and so on. Also, in the prototype, if you are using placeholder assets, you should make clear in advance what is placeholder and what is not. A tip that can save you a lot of effort in advance is not polishing too early, because it might happen the game gets rejected and you have to throw the entire thing away. On the other hand, it shouldn't be so bad the entire thing looks like a mess. The work in progress should look like work in progress. Mistake number 6. Business mistakes. It is always a good thing to have a business plan. The business plan should be realistic. It shouldn't be based on outliers. Even if you don't have a team yet, make sure you know what kind of people you will need and how much it is going to cost you. Have a near realistic estimate of time, effort, and resources you'll need and present the budget accordingly. Mistake number 7. Technical feasibility. When you present about your game, you should also highlight the risk associated and how you plan to overcome. Publishers have seen and worked on a lot of games and have a good idea on what's feasible and what's not. If you say you are making a multiplayer game for 10,000 plus players without an explanation on how you will pull off this feat, it's hard for them to put their money in your game. Mistake number 8. Publisher mistakes. Whenever you approach a publisher, make sure you know about their previous games. Like, if you present a mobile game to a console publisher, you are wasting time for both yours and even theirs. Send them prior mail teasing about your game and have an appointment if possible. Advance notice often helps you connect easily and prevent time waste in introductions or knowing about each other. Mistake number 9. Not having empathy. Try having publisher's perspective. If you have a presentation for your game, make sure it's at least on a large screen like a tablet or a laptop. If your game is music focused, make sure you bring headphones along. If the publisher is asking too many questions, you should try to answer and welcome more. Because if they are asking lot of questions, chances are they are interested in your game and want to know more details. This is important than you think. These things take very low effort and make your lasting impression. Mistake number 10. Lacking basic hygiene and professionalism. Clean your devices like VR headset, headphones or mobile, etc. before giving to them. When you meet, you are dressed well. Make sure you are not hungover, drunk or high. Take a shower before the meet if possible. Be agreeable and friendly. Because if a person can't be friendly during the pitch meeting, how will they be at actual tough times during the project? Don't trash about other publishers, companies or game developers. They'll think chances are you will trash about them behind their back too. It all boils down to the publisher with two questions before they put their money. That is the game worth making and can the team make it? If you are able to answer these questions practically, you've pretty much hit the nail on its head. For a recap, next time for your game pitch, be enthusiastic because if you aren't, who else be? Be honest and upfront about your challenges. You won't be able to fool many of them as they have seen this many times. Sell your hook. Sell really hard on what's unique and original about your game. That's what will sell your game. And finally, know your scope. You should know about how many levels, characters, hours, etc. will it take for you to develop the game. With this, thanks for watching.